Most people are not poor because they lack money. They are poor because they lack control. 2,000 years ago, a Roman emperor ruled the most powerful empire on earth. He commanded armies, controlled nations, and possessed wealth beyond imagination. Yet he warned more about poverty than riches, not the poverty of empty pockets, but the poverty of an undisciplined mind. His name was Marcus Aurelius, and he understood something most people today refuse to accept. You can earn more money and still be trapped. You can increase your income and remain poor. Because poverty is not a number in your bank account, it is a pattern in your behavior. The man who cannot control his desires will never control his wealth. And that is why even in the richest age in human history, most people stay poor. Part 1. The Stoic definition of wealth. What if everything you were taught about wealth was backward? Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth at his time, never defined wealth by how much you own. He defined it by how little you need. Very little is needed to make a happy life, he wrote, not as a poor philosopher, but as a Roman emperor who had access to everything. Now pause with me for a second. Say this quietly in your mind. More is not better. Control is better. Modern society teaches a dangerous equation. More income, more lifestyle, more consumption. But Stoicism asks a brutal question that most people are afraid to face. If you double your income but triple your desires, are you richer or poorer? Here is the uncomfortable truth. According to global financial data, over 60% of people earning above the national average still live paycheck to paycheck. Not because they don't earn enough, but because their wants expand faster than their discipline. Marcus Aurelius warned about this exact trap. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts revolve around wanting more, proving more, consuming more, poverty follows regardless of income. Let's reset for a moment. Breathe in. Say it with me. Wealth begins with restraint. Stoic wealth is subtraction, not addition. It is not about deprivation, it is about freedom. Every unnecessary desire is another chain, another bill, another dependency. Practical Stoic exercise for you today. Write down 5 things you want right now. Then ask one question. If I remove this desire, does my life get worse or lighter? Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. That is why he remained calm while ruling an empire, collapsing under war, plague, and betrayal. Most people stay poor not because they lack opportunity, but because they never learn to define enough. And if you do not define enough for yourself, the world will define it for you and keep moving the line. In the next part, we will confront the real enemy of wealth, not the economy, not your job, not your background, but desire itself. And once you see it clearly, you will never look at money the same way again. Part 2. The real prison desire. Most people believe poverty is a lack of money. Marcus Aurelius believed poverty is a lack of command over desire. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Pause here. Take a breath. Say it with me. Desire is never neutral. It always has a cost. The modern world treats desire as harmless, even healthy. You want more, you work harder. You desire more, you grow. But Stoicism exposes a darker truth. Unexamined desire does not motivate. It enslaves. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire where excess was everywhere. Luxury, power, indulgence, all within reach. Yet he warned that the greatest danger was not poverty of resources, but poverty of restraint. Why? Because desire has no finish line. Reset for a moment. Say it slowly. What I want today will not satisfy me tomorrow. Look at modern behavior. People buy to impress people they don't respect. They spend to escape discomfort they refuse to face. They chase status instead of mastery, appearance instead of competence. Here is a hard number. Behavioral science shows that over 80% of consumer purchases are driven by emotion, not logic. That means most spending decisions are reactions, not plans. Marcus Aurelius would call this mental captivity. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. Desire that is not governed creates internal conflict. You want comfort, but also freedom. You want luxury, but also peace. You want admiration, but also stability. These desires compete and something always loses. Reset again. Breathe in. Say it clearly. Every desire competes for control. Stoics understood that luxury today becomes obligation tomorrow. A larger home becomes higher fixed costs. A nicer car becomes monthly pressure. A more impressive lifestyle becomes a permanent treadmill. This is why many high-income individuals feel trapped. Data confirms it. Studies show that nearly 50% of people earning in the top income brackets report high financial stress, not because they lack money, but because their desires have outgrown their discipline. Marcus Aurelius warned us centuries ago, very little is needed to make a happy life. The problem is not income. The problem is appetite. Reset with me again. Say it slowly. If my desires shrink, my freedom expands. Stoic practice does not demand you eliminate desire. It demands you interrogate it. Ask 3 questions before any major want. Does this increase freedom or dependency? Does this serve function or image? Would I still want this if no one saw it? These questions alone destroy most unnecessary spending. Here is a practical Stoic exercise you can apply immediately. For the next 7 days, do not change your spending. Only observe your desires. When the urge appears, label it comfort escape status. Fear, do nothing else. Awareness breaks the prison. Marcus Aurelius wrote his Meditations as a form of mental training, not philosophy for show, discipline for survival. And here is the deepest Stoic insight of all. Poverty is not created when money is missing. It is created when desire is unchecked. The world profits from your impulses. Markets are built on your impatience. Advertising is designed to bypass your reason. The Stoic refuses to be predictable. Reset one final time. Breathe. Say it with conviction. I do not obey impulses. I examine them. In the next part, we will uncover what Stoics believed was the only real solution: self-mastery. Not more money, not more opportunity, control. And once you understand that wealth stops being fragile and starts becoming permanent, Part 3, the Stoic wealth is self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius believed the richest man was not the one who owned the most, but the one who needed the least and controlled himself the best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Pause here. Take a breath. Say it with me. Control yourself, or money will never obey you. Most people think wealth is about intelligence, luck, or opportunity. Stoicism says something far more uncomfortable. Wealth is a byproduct of self-mastery. Look around. People don't lose money because they lack knowledge. They lose money because they lack emotional control. They panic. They chase. They react. Modern behavioral economics confirms this. Studies show that emotion-driven financial decisions reduce long-term returns by 3 to 7% per year. Over 30 years, that gap alone can erase hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. Marcus Aurelius understood this without spreadsheets. He who is not master of himself is not free. Every emotional reaction to money is a form of slavery. Fear during market crashes, euphoria during booms, impulse during spending. Reset with me again. Breathe in. Say it slowly. Emotion is expensive. Discipline is profitable. The Stoic trains himself to pause always, not because he is slow, but because he is precise. Most people click buy to relieve discomfort. The Stoic waits until the discomfort dissolves, and often the desire disappears with it. This is not theory. This is practice. Here is a Stoic wealth exercise Marcus Aurelius would approve of before any financial decision: is spending, investing. Quitting, upgrading impose a 24-hour delay. Emotion fades. Reason remains. Data backs this up. People who delay major purchases by just 1 day reduce unnecessary spending by over 30% annually. Now consider this: self-mastery compounds just like money. A person who controls impulses today makes slightly better decisions. Those decisions create stability. Stability creates opportunity. Opportunity creates wealth. The opposite is also true. Uncontrolled emotion creates chaos. Chaos creates debt. Debt creates anxiety. Anxiety destroys discipline. Marcus Aurelius warned us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. Translate that into wealth. The best defense against poverty is to be unlike the impulsive emotional majority. Stoic wealth is not flashy. It is quiet. It is boring to outsiders. And that is exactly why it works. Let's reset one more time. Say it with me, I do not react, I decide. Practical application for you today. For the next 7 days, track emotional triggers related to money. Not amounts, not budgets, triggers. Ask yourself, when do I feel pressure to spend? When do I feel fear about money? When do I feel the urge to prove something? Awareness is the first layer of self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations not for others, but to discipline his own mind. That is the Stoic lesson. Before you master money, you must master the mind that touches it. And in the next part, I will give you the exact Stoic Wealth formula, a system so simple it feels unimpressive, yet so powerful it has kept disciplined people wealthy for centuries. Do not skip it. Part 4, the Stoic Wealth Formula. Practical. Most people want a secret formula for wealth. Marcus Aurelius would disappoint them, because the Stoic Wealth Formula is not secret, not exciting, and not fast. It is simple, it is repetitive, and it works. Do what nature demands. Get straight to the point. Pause here. Take a breath. Say it with me. Simple beats exciting, always. Marcus Aurelius lived through war, famine, plague, and political betrayal. Yet he never lost stability, internal or financial. Why? Because Stoic wealth is built on principles, not predictions. Here is the Stoic wealth formula. The same one disciplined people have followed for centuries. First, reduce unnecessary desires. This is the foundation. Not budgeting, not investing. Desire control. Every desire you remove is an immediate raise. Every want you eliminate increases your margin of safety. Data proves this. Households that consciously limit lifestyle inflation accumulate 2 to 3 times more net worth over 20 years than those who increase spending with income. Marcus Aurelius warned, if you seek tranquility, do less, or more accurately, do what is essential. Reset with me. Say it slowly, enough is a decision. Second, strengthen discipline daily. Stoicism is not motivation, it is training. Discipline is built in small, boring actions repeated daily. Saving automatically, tracking expenses weekly, saying no without explanation. Research shows people who automate financial discipline save up to 25% more than those who rely on willpower. The Stoic does not trust mood, he builds systems. Third, invest in skill, not status. Marcus Aurelius never invested in appearances. He invested in competence. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Translate that to wealth. Do not argue about money. Build ability. Skills compound faster than possessions. A luxury item depreciates. A skill appreciates. People who consistently invest in skill development increase lifetime earnings by 50 to 100% compared to peers who chase titles or image. Pause again. Say it with me. Skills pay. Status drains. Fourth, live below your means permanently, not temporarily, not until you make it, permanently. Marcus Aurelius lived simply while ruling an empire. Why? Because freedom requires margin. Living below your means creates options. Options create peace. Peace creates clarity. Without margin, one setback becomes a crisis. Fifth, prepare for loss, not luxury. Stoics practice premeditatio malorum, imagining loss in advance. Not to be pessimistic, but to be prepared. Emergency funds, insurance, diversification. People with just 6 months of reserves recover from financial shocks twice as fast as those without. Marcus Aurelius wrote, do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Act now, prepare now, reset one final time. Breathe in, say it clearly. Wealth is built in defense first. This formula is boring to watch, but powerful to live. And that is why most people ignore it. In the final part, we will expose the last and most dangerous trap, the one that quietly keeps people poor, even when they do everything else right. Comparison. And once you see it clearly, you will understand why Stoics win quietly, slowly, permanently. Part 5, the final Stoic warning. There is one final reason most people stay poor. It is not low income. It is not lack of opportunity. It is not bad luck. It is comparison. Marcus Aurelius warned against it repeatedly. Do not waste what remains of your life worrying about others. Pause here. Breathe in. Say it with me. Comparison is expensive. Modern society runs on comparison. Social media feeds it. Advertising profits from it. Culture normalizes it. You are constantly shown what others have, where they travel, what they buy, how they appear to be ahead. But Stoics understood something brutal. The moment you measure your life against someone else's, you surrender control. Comparison shifts your focus outward. Stoicism demands focus inward. Reset again. Say it slowly, I measure progress, not position. Here is a hard truth supported by data. Psychological studies show that people who frequently compare themselves financially report lower satisfaction and higher anxiety regardless of income level. In other words, comparison makes you feel poor even when you are not. Marcus Aurelius lived surrounded by men richer, stronger, more admired. Yet he remained unmoved. Why? Because the Stoic does not compete in public races. He competes in private ones. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Applied to wealth, it means this: do not react to what others consume. Do not imitate what others display. Do not chase approval disguised as success. Most people stay poor because their goals are not theirs. They buy to signal status. They spend to avoid feeling behind. They upgrade to keep up. And every time they do, they delay freedom. Reset once more. Breathe. Say it clearly. Freedom looks boring from the outside. Stoic wealth grows quietly. No announcements, no validation, no applause. That silence is a test, and most fail it. Practical Stoic exercise to end this journey. For the next 30 days, stop comparing income, lifestyle, or progress. Replace it with one metric only. Am I more disciplined than I was yesterday? Track that, nothing else. Marcus Aurelius wrote his Meditations never intending them to be read. They were private reminders, tools for self-correction. That is Stoic wealth, not public success, private mastery. And here is the final truth. Most people stay poor because they chase what is visible instead of building what is durable. The Stoic chooses differently, and that is why slowly, quietly, without noise, he wins. If this message challenged you, if it made you uncomfortable, and that's Stoicism working. Like this video if you value truth over comfort. Subscribe to Stoic Wealth for timeless wisdom on wealth discipline and inner power. Share this with someone who needs to hear it but won't ask. Now do one thing. Comment one word: discipline. If you understand it, write it. If you need it, write it anyway. Remember, wealth is not owned. It is earned through character.